After returning to the Citadel from Bala, Rosa received a message from her friend, Opal, with some news from the STG about the probable whereabouts of one of her brothers. Somebody matching their description was reported as having boarded a ship with other slaves bound for the lawless settlement of Perdition on the planet Acruz, the very place that Lissa Vesik had gone when Rosa captured her. The other Sidewinders agreed to go to Perdition, not just because Rosa's brother may be there, but because other leads related to the Void Wraith had also pointed to the disreputable place. Going as themselves would be dangerous, though, so they all decided it would be a perfect opportunity to assume the alternate identities they had already been working on. Instead of Loghain, Crane, and Rosa going to a cruise, it would be Jet Perfectus, Toshiru, and Carmen, respectively. Tiala, on the other hand, would pretend to be a sick and drug-deprived Lissa Vesik, and with her ship the Prisca still in their possession, the illusion would be complete. A Turian named Koran Bertius was their main target, as he had dealt with the Void Wraith and Lissa Vesik in the past before. After landing outside of Perdition and gaining entry, Tiala and Rosa sought out the slave auction yards, while Loghain and Crane got a lay of the land and made preparations to counter the fact that their weapons had been taken from them beyond Perdition's walls by purchasing ingredients for rudimentary substitutes. While en route to the slave pits, Tiala and Rosa came across a suspicious Quarian trying to covertly follow some thugs escorting an Asari and Turian through the streets. He introduced himself as Zalu, and it was his colleagues being taken by the thugs to the slave pits, the bounty hunter Thralia Heranda, and her right-hand Turian, Jotek Carteus. Ironically, there had been a bounty placed on them by a Krogan named Vrax, and it wasn't long before they were out of Zalu's reach. Zalu offered to help Tiala and Rosa in exchange for them helping him find Thralia and Jotek later, telling them that he at least still has access to their ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. After a while, Rosa spotted her brother Enrique up for sale, and she and Tiala both bid on him. They won Enrique and also bought a few more slaves to free as well. With that done, the group prepared to set up the meeting with Bertius, in hopes that they could lure the businessman out to kidnap him. Tiala contacted him in the guise of Lissa, while he refused to leave Perdition and was skeptical at meeting her. He agreed to meet her in a local bar, the Thresher Moor's Spittoon. Loghain and Crane scoped out the bar, and Tiala managed to convince Bertius to meet her in an alleyway out back, with promises of valuable information. Outside, Rosa and Zalu waited to ambush Bertius, and soon Loghain and Crane joined them to spring their trap. When Tiala had got Bertius and his men where they wanted them, the trap was successfully executed, and Bertius was taken to the Prisca under the guise of being part of a drunken rabble. Their missions completed, both the Prisca and Nebuchadnezzar left for the Citadel. Upon returning to the Citadel, Zalu wanted to join the Sidewinders in their efforts in hopes they could help track down his former colleagues. He was accepted in, and while Loghain and Rosa left for the stormy world Shahat in order to set up and upgrade Rancor base, Tiala started using recent information she got from the medical database on Bala, Victim Shazeska, and Kriz security on Lucia to track Helania Zidana. Learning that the experiments were related to generational purebloods that had never bred with non-Asari, she managed to trace her evidence to an Asari named Kyra Radan. a criminal arrested for unethical medical experiments that was still serving a 500-year sentence on Lucia. Tiala passed the information on to Loghain and Rosa to help them investigate things on Lucia, while she contacted her mother and insisted on them meeting face-to-face for the first time in half a century. Loghain and Rosa finished at Rancor Base and went to Lucia, where Loghain managed to track down matriarch Liana Radan, who turned out to be Kyra's mother. To her knowledge, her daughter was still in jail, and it was uncovered that Helania Zidana and Kyra Radan were the same Asari. With some detective work, Loghain and Rosa managed to uncover the conspiracy. Not only had Kyra bribed important Asari to escape prison and assumed different identities over the decades that followed, but she was also Tiala's father, becoming chief medical officer aboard the Destiny Ascension when Tiala's mother captained the Asari flagship. Kyra had used her in order to sire 2 pure-blood daughters for the purposes of her own experiments. Loghain and Rosa found Kyra's recently abandoned apartment and ascertained that she had taken a ship to the Augustia cluster. Tiala was updated on what they'd learned, having recently had a fairly unproductive meeting with her mother, where she knew things were being kept from her deliberately. Tiala wanted answers and was willing to risk entering Asari space to get them. Loghain and Rosa returned to the Citadel to collect both Tiala and Zalu, and the group made haste to the Augustia cluster. Trish detected a facility on the remote planet Pagoma, a world of snow and rock. Masking their entry in the vast rock caverns to land, the Fort Sidewinders snuck their way into the base and dealt with the Asari robots guarding the exterior. Inside were many Asari scientists working away in several small laboratories. They were subdued, and then Kyra was discovered in her office and restrained. She claimed her experiments were to benefit the Asari race and bring back long-lost genetic abilities lost in their interbreeding with other species. That was why Tiala had developed her unique skills that she possessed in the first place. Before she could be properly arrested, Kyra's partner in crime came to rescue her in a large mech. The Sidewinders retaliated and then got some assistance from Justikar Kitara. With the true guilty party finally caught, Tiala was no longer in danger of her former friend hunting her down. Kyra was taken to Lucia for trial and found guilty, and Tiala was absolved of all wrongdoing and awarded a large compensation from the Asari government. Tiala's days as a fugitive in Asari space had finally come to an end, though the revelation that her father had been a criminal and used both her mother and herself from the beginning was not comforting. Before the trial was complete, Tiala managed to glean the secret answer to who the other daughter of Kyra Radan was, Sergeant Tadami. While Tiala's mother had given birth to her, in the case of Sergeant Tadami, it was Kyra who was the mother instead. Sergeant Tadami had in fact been the original target for Kyra's experiments, but when she had become a member of CSEC, Kyra determined that Tiala would be an easier target. Victorious but yet troubled, Tiala returned to the Citadel with her colleagues.